Good morning, YouTube. For the first time ever, I'm going to be getting the Google Pixel XL phone. I did get this tablet, the Samsung Galaxy Tab E, for the second time from the pawn shop at Hawk Shop. Um, but it's not really a flagship or a high-end tablet. I mean, it's like a basic a tablet, so it does have some lagness to it. So in October of 2019, October of this year, this phone will be 3 years. So it's only 2.5 years because it's not quite 3 years yet until October. And as you can see, it was released October 2016. So of course, it's a late 2016 phone because it came out in October. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's not early 2016. So yeah, it's not quite 3 years. Okay, anyway, it's 168 grams, 8.5 mm thickness, whatever. I guess it originally came with Android 7.1, and it's up to Android 9.0, which I think is the latest Android, I think. It is just like the iPhones. There is no card slot, no SD card expansion. But with 128 gigs, you don't really need that. And yeah, like, I mean, there's 32 and 128. But for $250, I'm going to be getting, for the first time ever, a 128 gig phone. I know this phone is 2.5 years, but for the first time ever, and finally in 2019, I'm getting a 128 gig. I just can't believe it. I just can't believe that I'm getting this phone. A lot of people dislike this phone because of the bottom, because it takes up a little bit of takes up some extra space. But it's still 5.5, and that's. I mean, I know, of course, you got the bigger screens now. You got the 6.1, the 7-inch phones now. You know what I mean? Yeah, but whatever, right? But it's still a high end phone. The 1440 times 2560 pixels, so it is a high end flagship. It looks pretty clean, like because it's Google, right? So it's a Google interface, whatever it's called. Um, yeah, so it's pretty clean. Now the camera, of course, it's not a 60 megapixel, but I heard that the camera's still good, even though it's 12. Like 12 MP is still. I mean, I know it's not like, you know, 16 or anything, but I mean, 12 is probably still clear. You know, of course, with the G4, of course, it had a really nice camera. It was a 16 megapixel camera. Um, I'm not too sure if 12 megapixels is going to be that clear or not, but I won't know until I test it out later on today. And then the 4 gig RAM, the Snapdragon 821. Now that's pretty good, guys. And then the battery, 3.4, 3450, 3450 battery. So that that's a good battery, and it's, of course, C type, so it charges pretty good. Um, you know, it's AMOLED, of course. Corner Gorilla Glass 4. Um, yeah, so 12.3 for the rear, for the single camera, and then of course, the selfie is 8 megapixel. So it's an 8 megapixel camera and a 12.3 megapixel camera, right? Now the selfie is 2.4. Oh shit. Hold on a second, guys. Yeah, that's the guy that's messaging me for the phone. Um, yeah, so fast battery charging. It's a non-removable battery, so you can't remove it. A lot of people didn't like that as well, but it's all good. Anyway, so I'm just gonna end. Hold on, just end that. I think it's still recording. Yeah. 1 second, guys. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to gallery here, and here's the phone. Okay. So of course this is the back of the phone. It kind of reminds me of when I had the LG G5 because it had that kind of same look kind of thing. And you can see at the bottom there, that's the Type C charge. Of course, it's not like it doesn't have the wide lens camera. It doesn't have the two cameras at the back, and the fingerprint scanners at the back, of course. Like what I had on most phones. Yeah, but a single camera because it's a 12 megapixel camera, right? So they're not gonna make like 2 or 3 cameras at the back. You know what I mean? That might be on the newer Google Pixel phones, but yeah, this is the original Google Pixel XL. This is the very first one. So then of course this is what it looks like. So it's pretty clean. And when it's at 11%, it says 59 minutes until full. Yeah, and I believe he said it's unlocked. I mean, I'm not going to get it set up right away. I'm just using it as a Wi-Fi. I'm just using Wi-Fi on it. So I believe he tried to sell it, I guess, since Sunday, February 24th. But I guess that didn't happen. I guess he didn't sell it until today, until March 1st. So you can see there's a crack at the top, and then there's a crack in the screen. You don't really notice it as much. And I've had crack screens before. But even though it has the cracked screen, the guy's not going to let it go for like 200. If it was maybe the 32 gig, yeah, but for the 128 gig, it's gonna still be 250, like no matter what, because more storage it is, more money it is. But just imagine, man, the 128 gigs, I'll probably get about 120 or 118, maybe 117, but still that's over 100 gigs. And I mean, that's a lot. And like I said, this is my first ever 128 gig phone in 2019.